Hi guys, I'm Meg Fenn, and I'm here today to talk to you about steps 10, 11, and 12. This is part 3 of our 12-step tutorial. Steps 10, 11, and 12 are really, to me, the part of the program that keeps me in the game. I can't say enough about these 3 steps, and if you ever told me I was going to be excited about 10, 11, and 12, I don't know, I probably would have said you're crazy. So, in our past couple tutorials that we did, we talked about steps 1, 2, 3. That's the beginning of the journey, all right? Admitting what's going on and making decisions. 4 through 9, the work, the meat of the program. We did inventory. We looked at character defects. We made amends. Now this part is the part of the program that I used to think was called the maintenance part. Right? And if you tell me maintenance, like I know I'm supposed to maintain my car, I don't do it. But I did finally get a sponsor who explained to me that, Meg, these aren't the maintenance steps. These are the spiritual disciplines of the program that you will live. And it changed my life. I live these 3 steps as spiritual disciplines, and they keep me in the game. Frequently, I work with patients that have had some time in the program, and I'll say to them, what happened? And they say, I stopped doing nightly inventory. I stopped being spiritually disciplined. I stopped going to meetings. I stopped doing inventory. I stopped meditating. I stopped praying. The spiritual disciplines. I stopped doing service. So let's break them down. So in step 10, we talk about continue to take personal inventory. When we were wrong, we admitted it. 11, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with our higher power. And in step 12, having had a spiritual awakening, by doing the steps, we help other people, basically. Okay, we got to give all this away. So 10, 11, and 12, it's discussed in our big book of Alcoholics Anonymous on page 84 and 85. That talks to us about step 10. Step 11 is described on page 86. Now I want to go through this with you guys because people kind of confuse this, all right? So, step 11 gives us some very serious instructions to do in the morning and at night. On page 86, you're going to see at night when we retire, and then there's another paragraph and it says in the morning when we wake up. These become our disciplined way of doing prayer and meditation. This is step 11, all right? So in the morning, the book tells me exactly what to do. I get up and I shoot out a little bit of a prayer, whatever that is for you, okay? Thank you, keep me sober today, whatever. Give me strength, your will, not mine, whatever your thing is. But in that actual paragraph, it's going to tell you a couple things. It says, one, to look at the 24 hours ahead. Kind of think about what your day is going to be. Ask that your thinking be divorced of dishonesty, selfishness, self-pity, right? And, kind of remember that you're not running the show. His will, not yours, be done. Out the door. That's the first part of step 11. Okay, morning prayer, meditation. As you go through your day, if you have problems at all, you start to waver, you start to get upset, you get angry, you're having any kind of difficulty, that's where you use step 10. Okay, step 10 is a tool. On page 84, it talks about it, and you're going to see this thing called PARS that they talk about. P-A-R-S. That is a tool that's really step 10 for you to use during the day. It's your walking around tool. So you start out your day with the morning part of step 11. You say a prayer, meditate, look at your 24 hours ahead, and head out the door. You're going along. I don't know, sometimes I make it to the elevator, sometimes I make it to my car, but at some point, somebody's going to get me anxious, disturbed, upset, annoyed, whatever. When that happens, I have a tool for that, okay? And that tool is step 10, and it's P, pause. Hold on, Meg. Relax. You don't have to get excited. A, ask. Hey, can you help me here? I'm getting a little agitated, and I probably shouldn't. R, remind myself I'm no longer in charge. S, saying thy will be done. That's my 10th step tool. So that when I'm out in the world and things start to agitate or annoy me or bother me, I can stop for a minute and ask to be redirected. Okay? So, I go through the day like that. Now, if something big comes up, I may have to go write another 4th step, but usually 10th step is going to get me through most things. All right? I go home at night. Before I go to bed, I do an inventory. Page 86 again in that book. And it says, at night when we retire. And it gives us very specific instructions what to do. I still do this. And I'm going to tell you, everyone I've worked with that keeps doing this right through their recovery, they really do very well. I know it's a little bit of a pain, but it's so worth it. So what does that thing say about night? What are we supposed to do? Okay. When we're about to retire at night, it says, how did I do today? Was I loving and kind to all? Do I owe an apology to anyone? Am I keeping something to myself that I should discuss with someone? Was I selfish most of the day, or, did I actually help people, right? So that's the kind of stuff it asks for. Just a basic inventory, right? It's really going back to those character defects and seeing which of these came up today and what do we do about it. So you do your 11th step inventory at night. Again, we don't want to drift into morbid reflection. It's not about beating yourself up. It's just about doing an assessment of how I did for the day. And then that's it. We're off for the night. 10 is a tool that we use all day long, like I said, to keep us on the beam. Keep me from getting overly excited, getting crazy, getting upset. So 10, 11 kind of work together. And then 12, I give this away to anybody who wants it, when they want it, however they want it. All right? And it's not just about AA. I live my life like this. Anybody who needs help. My heart's open, my mind is open, and that is because I had a spiritual awakening as a result of doing these steps. So 10, 11, and 12 have become my spiritual disciplines. And I really think if you look at particularly the 10th step promise in the book, it says it all. The 10th step promise is really, for me, what it's all about. It's why I do this. And the spiritual disciplines have kept me in the game. I mean, there's been times in my sobriety where I did 1, 2, and 3. I did a little bit of a 4th. Maybe I did some 8 and 9. But I never did the whole thing and stayed in the disciplines of 10, 11, and 12. So, like I said, we've broken it down. The first 3 steps we've talked about, 4 through 9, the action part of the program where we start to feel better, we do the work, and now today we're talking about 10, 11, and 12, the disciplines, the spiritual disciplines that keep us in the game, all right? And why do we do this? I'm going to read to you why. This is the step 10 promise. And it starts on page 84 in our book. And it says, and we have ceased fighting anything or anyone, even alcohol. For by this time, sanity will have returned. We will seldom be interested in liquor. If tempted, we recoil from it as from a hot flame. We react sanely and normally, and we will find that this has happened automatically. We will see that our new attitude toward liquor has been given us without any thought or effort on our part. It just comes. That is the miracle of it. We're not fighting it, neither are we avoiding temptation. We feel as though we had been placed in a position of neutrality, safe and protected. We had not even sworn off. Instead, the problem's been removed. It does not exist for us. We're neither cocky, nor are we afraid. That is our experience. That is how we react, so long as we keep in fit spiritual condition.